So welcome in. We are into game number 3. Game number 2, unfortunately, a forfeit win, as Final Tap actually takes game number 2 as well. So with a 2-0 lead, we head into a Gold League game, spawning down here in the lower right-hand position of ESV Muspelheim. He's wearing the orange color, playing for Team Spinal Tap. It's TKP.eGTShreddix. And I'm not on busy. Perfect. There we go. So spawning across from him in the upper left-hand position, playing for the team, the Killer Pikachu. He's down. His team is down 2-0. Can he bring back a point for his team? It's TKP.eGTShreddix. So ZVZ on Muspelheim is actually, I don't think, a matchup I've seen on this map before. But if we go over sort of the general formations, it's going to be very tough for either Zerg player to take their third base on this map. So it'll probably revolve around a Roach mid-game if the Ling Baneling wars aren't, in one person's favor or the other. But that's just kind of the state of this matchup right now. But that third base is going to be very difficult to get and hold on to, just due to counterattacks. There's several different attack paths across this map, and not all of them are guarded by the watchtowers. So we see Shreddix going to scout out his opponent, pop up in here, and he'll spot the pool and the gas geyser, at least for long here. Excuse me. And there he goes. So he does see that pool and the gas geyser, and we see very similar opening from Shreddix. And neither player going for the 15 hatch, which tends to be more standard in this matchup. It may be just because this map is a little bit smaller than the standard ladder maps. Having those early speed links is going to be really valuable, and you'll be able to excuse me, get in and harass your opponent. I actually see both players going for an expansion at the same time. However, Shreddix is doing it at less supply. Instead of having that 2 extra supply, he got an Overlord instead. Just kind of an interesting trade-off. Tiluvtoriamos, meanwhile, trailing a little bit in the gas department, but this is one of those ZVZs where everybody is pretty completely even, and it's kind of eerie for a while. So we'll see where the big differences occur. Queen's on the way for both players. Speed actually started at very similar times. Shreddix trails by 2 seconds if you're really worried about that. And finally, the big difference. Tiluvtoriamos going for 6 Zerglings, and Shreddix, rather than making use of his Zergling speed upgrade, is instead plopping down that early Roach Warren. So this might be a little bit of pressure back the other way. He might have to receive these first initial wave of Zerglings and then counter push with his Roaches. We do see 6 Zerglings on the way for Shreddix. So again, everything even. The big difference is this Roach Warren right now. And we can even see that kind of accounted for in the resources. Tiluvtoriamos has actually pulled out of his gas geyser. Just going to focus on drones, focus on Zerglings right now. We see 12, 14 more Zerglings on the way. So it looks like Tiluvtoriamos going to be the aggressor for Team Spinal Tap, at least early on. Shreddix doesn't have a spine started at the front, just now getting the second queen as well, and he might be in a little bit of trouble. If we look at his vision, this is very nice. He'll see this handful of Zerglings moving out, and now he knows that he needs those Zerglings or some Roaches. Roaches will do just fine, but he needs units to try and help defend. I'd love to see a Spine Crawler or 2 at the front as well. And it does look like he's going to throw those down, but that's not going to finish in time. In come the Zerglings from Tiluvtoriamos. Gets this round, trying to get rid of all of them. All the Zerglings go down. The Queen's going to fall as well, and this might just be the end of the game. 3 Roaches coming out now for Shreddix. They're not going to be able to hold the ramp, and this is actually a pretty decent surround by the Lings of Tiluvtoriamos. The Roaches fall, and now the Zerglings will be able to have their way with basically whatever they want. He's getting into the mineral line, taking down some of these drones. Hold position, doing a little bit of damage there, and now we'll take out the queen down in the natural. A couple of lings do hatch for Shreddix, but it might be too little too late. Roach is being taken down, and there, finally everything looks like it's getting cleaned up. The reinforcements, though, from Iluvtoriamos getting in onto the natural, not able to take it down. We do have a big fight on this ramp, and I personally cannot tell who's winning. More reinforcements coming in for our orange Zerg player, and the Roach immediately surrounded as it hatches out of the natural hatchery. That's going to fall. If we look, the workers killed only 6 so far, but there's so many Zerglings left over for Iluvtoriamos. Getting into the mineral line now, and the rest of the Zerglings going to go down 48 supply to 11, and looks like it's going to be it. Leaves the game. But Iluvtoriamos point. Currently 1 away from clinching the series very early on. So we'll be right back with game number 4, Platinum League game between Team Spinal Tap and the Killer Pikachus. Don't go anywhere, you're watching CTL, casted by Meristematic.